Thursday morning, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Thursday. I am your meteorologist, Jeff Peterson, and let's go and talk about the weather for your Thursday evening, going into your future. We have only one more day to go until we make it to Friday. Also, if you have not hit the like button or subscribe button, make sure you go and do so we can go on and get to our goal of 600 subscribers. We had another subscriber today, so we're at 501. Yes, 501. Also, make sure you go on and, like I said, hit the like button. We have 5 people watching, only 2 likes right now. So let's go on and get everyone to hit the like button, please. And as we go on and get started, let's go and talk with the recorded audience for the people who could unfortunately not make it to the live stream tonight. Good Thursday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully everyone has a fantastic Thursday. I am your meteorologist, Jeff Peterson, and let's go on and talk about the weather for your Thursday evening going into your future. Now, looking at the radar right now, we do have some rainfall activity going on inside of places over here near Chesterfield, going on near Society Hill and Bennettsville, South Carolina as well. But overall, that's pretty much it for over there. And I don't see anything else really going on. If we go and look at what's going on throughout the entire United States, we do have some rainfall activity going on from New York into Pennsylvania, going into New Jersey, Vermont, and even North Carolina, receiving some rain and some thunderstorm activity. If we go on over here towards the Gulf Coast, we do have some rainfall going on for Florida, Louisiana, going into ports of Alabama as well. Rainfall also going on in Texas, going into the central U.S. from North Dakota all the way down toward like Nebraska and Kansas as well. Montana also having some rainfall activity, even going into Oregon and Idaho as well. If we go into cloud cover right now is showing some decent cloud cover like the Midlands, Low Country. But overall, like the PD, Midlands, or PD and Grand Strand in the upstate, overall they're a bit clear right now. Upstate has some cloud cover, but overall, it's right now it's showing that it's just pretty light right now. If we go into cloud cover for the future, as we go on and push this forward, you can see that there is some cloud cover that will continue as we go through. This is tomorrow morning right here as cloud cover goes on throughout the Low Country, PD, Midlands, and even as we get into tomorrow afternoon right here, you can see that cloud cover starting to push off, but it's looking a lot more clear. Looking a lot more clear than usual. If you go on towards our current temperatures right now, current temperatures are actually still pretty warm out there. And I actually think that some of these temperatures could actually be a bit cooler than what it actually is. So like 82 in Columbia, 80 in St. Matthews, 82 in Orangeburg, as well as 79 in Holly Hill, 79 in Moncks Corner, as well as 77 in Somerville, 80 in Allendale, 79 in Georgetown. We also do have 79 in Myrtle Beach, 77 in Conway, Lourdes, as well as 79 in Charleston, 84 in Spartanburg, as well as 80 in Greenville, 84 in York, 84 also inside of Rock Hill, 80 in Clemson, as well as 79 in Harrison, and 73 in Walterboro. Going into low temperatures for tonight. Low temperature 67 in Greenville, as well as 66 in Spartanburg. We also have 67 in Rock Hill, 71 in Columbia, as well as Aiken, 71 in Sumter, Orangeburg, Barnwell, 72 in Florence, as well as 72 in Moncks Corner, 76 in Charleston, and 77 in Hilton Head Island as well. Going into your rainfall for today, overall, around a good amount of precipitation is possible. 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch for places like Winsboro, going into Columbia, Aiken, Barnwell, Orangeburg, going into Camden and Cheraw as well, even Dillon as well. Then we even have a 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch for Sumter, going into King Street, Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, going into Moncks Corner, Charleston, Walterboro. All these regions have a 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch potentially, and then maybe even a quarter of an inch to a half an inch for some regions as well. That is going through like the PD region of South Carolina, the Southern Midlands, Low Country. Quarter of an inch to a half an inch is possible through there. If you go into the SPC outlook, starting off for tonight, I should honestly say, we do have some threat for some severe weather. They did just release the new one right now. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Here it is right here. You can see that overall, we still have that marginal risk of severe weather there for Rock Hill going into Greenville, Spartanburg, Columbia, Florence, and Myrtle Beach as well. And we actually do have a slight risk that was placed over there where currently those showers and thunderstorms are as we speak. So I guess that's why they placed that there. But overall, most of the marginal risk is gone. Aiken, South Carolina, going through the Orangeburg region, Georgetown, the entire low country of South Carolina, Anderson, South Carolina, going up there into Oconee County, South Carolina. All these regions that I just called out no longer has a threat for any sort of severe weather. But places like Greenville, Spartanburg, Rock Hill, Columbia, Florence, and Myrtle Beach still have that threat for some severe weather as we go into tonight. And so mainly, again, just a damaging wind threat, a hail threat, probably inside the yellow, but most likely just some isolated large hail. And then if you're inside the green, you have a 5% chance of damaging wind, so most likely just winds 40 to 60 miles per hour. And obviously, if you're in the yellow, you have scattered wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour. That's possible. Tomorrow, thunderstorms again. Small hail gusts of up to 40 miles per hour tomorrow possible, and same thing for Saturday as well for a good amount of us, but the upstate overall out of that risk zone. If we go into excessive rainfall right now, there's nothing really for tonight. I think we're done pretty much in terms of excessive rainfall. If you go on and look at the future in terms of excessive rainfall, you can see there's absolutely nothing going on. So we are good in terms of excessive rainfall. Let's go on and look at the models now. So the models, we're going to go on and look at the top right corner of your screen. You can see the time. And as we go on and push this forward, you can see that it really starts to calm down a lot tonight, like it pretty much does every night. Even as we go into tomorrow afternoon, all the way through to tomorrow afternoon, you can see that there is no rain or thunderstorm activity that you're really seeing here. And if you continue to push this forward even more, finally some rainfall activity starts to push at around 4 o'clock p.m. Again, that can change, but overall, it's showing just some rainfall activity, maybe some thunderstorm activity as we go into around 4 to probably around like 8, 9 p.m. And then just some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity as you go to around 1 a.m. or at least shower and downpour activity as you go into 1 a.m. on June the 21st. And then past that, some more rainfall activity again continues going into Saturday as well as we go into the morning and especially in the afternoon as well. So again, we take a little bit of a break tomorrow. But overall, I mean, it's still going to be just that isolated rain and downpour thunderstorm activity. But Saturday, it could also be a bit more active, but obviously we're going to have to wait and see because these storms are very unpredictable and what they could do. So that's why everybody just needs to be prepared for it. Let's go on now and look for the long-term future. So we're going to start off here, 48 hours out, June the 21st. As we go in and push this forward, you can see high pressure takes over, and it's going to be a nice stretch for some people in terms of weather. Some people may not receive a drop of rain, some may. And so overall, I mean, this high pressure is there, though. And then as we get into around June the 24th and the 25th, that's when we really start to see that rainfall activity start to push right back into the state. And it's just rainfall every single day over and over and over again, going all the way into July. So, we have a little bit of a break now. But as we go on and push this into June the 25th-ish, going through that region, you can just see overall the amount of rain that it pushes through. And just as a hypothetical, let's go on and look at the total accumulated precipitation. Overall, I mean, this is around a good, I'd say, if you're inside like the purple pinkish area, that's kind of like around 2 to probably up to around 4 inches. And then if you're inside the blue, that's probably around a half an inch all the way up to 2 inches. But that's through like the next 300 hours or so. And obviously that will change. And, over 300 hours, that's way too far out to really say. But this is just what it's saying right here. If we go on now and look at our next area, which is obviously the tropics. The tropics. You can see here no tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days, so we are good. We are good in terms of tropical cyclone activity here in the Atlantic. Nothing to worry about. But in the Eastern Pacific, obviously, tropical depression, Eric, now because it is no longer a hurricane anymore. It says that's down there in Mexico. It says it will continue to produce heavy rainfall. Life-threatening flooding and mudslides are definitely still likely. But in terms of like wind, probably just like tropical. I mean, it's a tropical depression, so tropical depression, winds and maybe some tropical storm wind gust potentially. But right now, it says it has around 35 miles per hour, so that's not quite a tropical storm there, but that's why it is there now. And it's going to continue to weaken, obviously, as it is over land. So no threat with this, but they do have another area that they're watching for down here, though. But overall, again, no threat to us over here in the Atlantic at all for us in South Carolina. Let's go and look at the drought monitor, which, well, let me get this ready real quick. The drought monitor, obviously, we've been dealing with a drought here in South Carolina for a little bit now, and it is with great pleasure that I announce the drought and any sort of abnormally dry areas have now dissipated. Yes, all of the rainfall that we have received, all of that has officially gotten rid of any sort of abnormally dry areas, any sort of droughts or anything like that. So there is absolutely no more drought conditions going on throughout the state of South Carolina at this time. Now, that means there's really not so much of a need for heavy rainfall like I've been wanting, especially to get rid of those last couple areas, but now it's gone. Just some rainfall in order to sustain this right here would be fine, but not going to be wishing for any sort of heavy downpours anymore for the regions that need it anymore. But we are officially done with that drought for now. Obviously, I know it will come back. When? It could be next week, it could be the week after. We don't know, but right now, we can say that we are no longer inside of any sort of abnormally dry or even a drought right now. The crazy score, we're at a 32 for tonight. We're inside of the moderate category, moderate rain, wind, storms, minor storms. Pretty much the reason why it put us inside of that region was obviously because of number one, a few lingering storms. Cold front is pushing through. Obviously, it pushed through pretty much probably earlier, but it will shift the wind from southwest to northwest. Some fog or low clouds may develop where it rained. So if it has rained in like the past hour or so where you were, you could potentially see some fog. Lows drop to near normal, and then dry air moves in, ending rain chances and setting up a clearer and a cooler Friday morning, though. So overall, it's going to be a cooler, not a cool, but a cooler Friday morning as we go into tomorrow for many people. And then that's pretty much it in terms of our weather for South Carolina. Let's go on and look at the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, my Nana says, J, I was outside. The mosquitoes had a field day outside today. Yes, I know. The mosquitoes up there, at least from where I've been, have always been bad during this time. Especially when they get up like all like in like your face. That's one thing I cannot stand about mosquitoes. Especially when like they get face, your ear. I don't know, that just irritates me. But hopefully you have some bug spray, some mosquito spray for you next time you go outside. Ms. Tolliver says, good evening. No rain at my house today. Nothing but humidity, the geese family, and flies. Can you tell me what the forecast is for Jacksonville, Florida for Friday and Saturday? I will do that in just a second. That says, good evening, just so I trust all is well with you. All is well with me. Thank you so much for asking. Terrell says, greetings everyone, happy Juneteenth. Lovely day here today, but hot. Yes, unfortunately, if you don't like the hot temperatures, which there is a poll inside the chat that does talk about the hot temperatures. We're going to talk about the poll once we're done talking about our 3 locations of San Antonio, Raleigh, and Philadelphia, but we're going to talk about that. And then Ms. Tolliver says that Hurricane New Mexico is starting to sound serious. Do you think it will affect the U.S. at all? No, not really. No, it's dissipating at this point. I don't really see too much of a threat for the U.S. My Aunt Shirley says, good evening. Hope all is well, and you're staying cool. I am. Thank you so much for asking. And Mr. Anthony says, good evening to you, and that is all. So let's go on now. And first off, before we even go on and talk about our 3 locations of San Antonio, Raleigh, and Philadelphia, let's go on and talk about Jacksonville, Florida first. So I'm gonna move this right here down here to Jacksonville. If you go in, you said Friday and Saturday. So we're gonna go to the 18Z real quick. We're gonna go to radar. And if you start off, this is Friday right here, just starting off. It's looking to be dry as you go through tonight, going into tomorrow as well. But as you get into around 1 to 2 p.m., that shower and thunderstorm activity could potentially be going on, even as you go through around 5 to around 6 p.m. And then it dies out by around 8, 9 p.m., maybe a bit later than that. But overall, it's going to be a dry night. So pretty much the same weather that we're receiving up here in South Carolina, that's pretty much going to be the same weather that you are going to be receiving in Jacksonville, even as you go into, this is Saturday at around 2 p.m. right here. Again, just more rainfall and thunderstorm activities continue. So pretty much the same weather that you're seeing in South Carolina, that's pretty much the same weather for Jacksonville. And if you go into temperatures in terms of shaded first, going into Friday, you have high temperatures around 90, low temperatures on Friday night around 73, and then high temperatures probably getting into around like the low 90s again, maybe a bit into the mid 90s, around there. But overall, pretty much the same weather that we're seeing down here in Jacksonville is the same that we're seeing in South Carolina. And in terms of severe weather, there is actually not, I don't think there's just a thunderstorm threat yet, pretty much, from what I'm seeing right now. Only a thunderstorm threat as we go into, obviously, the next 3 days. So for Friday and for Saturday as well. So, again, the same thing pretty much. So that's it for Jacksonville. Let's go on and talk about San Antonio, Raleigh, and Philadelphia. Talking about San Antonio first, low temperatures tonight going into 77. High temperatures tomorrow probably around 93. Low temperatures tomorrow night around 75. No precipitation is expected tonight, but a slight chance of thunderstorms going into tomorrow during the day. Tomorrow night, no precipitation is expected though. Going into severe weather for San Antonio, you do not have any sort of severe weather you have to worry about. In terms of excessive rainfall, though, there is no excessive rainfall that is expected during the next 5 days. If you go into Raleigh, being our next location, low temperatures tonight 68, high temperatures tomorrow 90, low temperatures tomorrow night at 69. Thunderstorms are likely tonight. No precipitation is expected tomorrow. In terms of severe weather, Raleigh does have a chance for some severe weather tonight. Obviously, a slight risk of severe weather. There is a 15% chance of damaging winds and a 5% chance of damaging hail, meaning some storms could be accompanied by some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts scattered around throughout the storm, and then some isolated hailstones of up to an inch. So that's it in terms of Raleigh. If we go on and look at excessive rainfall, there is that minor flooding threat tonight, but that's pretty much the only thing. And then Philadelphia being the last location, low temperatures tonight 65, high temperatures tomorrow 85, low temperatures tomorrow night 68, chance of thunderstorms tonight, no precipitation tomorrow. And then obviously severe weather is possible in Philadelphia tonight, slight risk of severe weather, 15% chance of damaging winds and a 5% chance of damaging hail, pretty much the same thing I said for Raleigh. And then in terms of excessive rainfall, no excessive rainfall is expected. And so now let's go on and talk about what's going on throughout the entire U.S. Weather news-wise, strong to potentially severe thunderstorms with damaging wind gusts are forecasted Thursday from parts of New England into the mid-Atlantic into the Carolinas. Significant heat will expand across the western and central plains through Friday, potentially breaking daily high temperature records, and dangerous heat will then build into the eastern U.S. this weekend through much of next week. So that heat that's over there in the west from Las Vegas to, Utah to Colorado to Eastern California to New Mexico, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, near Chicago. All of these regions, all of this heat that we're seeing is going to move to the east and go through from the East Coast, from all the way potentially up from the Northeast, all the way down into the Southeast where we are. So that's what they're pretty much looking at for in terms of heat. So everyone's going to get their little dose of heat no matter pretty much where they are, unless they're probably up there in the Pacific Northwest, potentially. But, pretty much their high temperatures are probably going to be around 61, actually. So, yeah, it's actually going to drop a little bit. But that's like up there in the mountains. But anyways, that's it in terms of that. Let's go on and look at the poll. I do want to see what the poll says. Right now, I said, are you happy with the heat right now? 0% says yes. 0% says yes, perfect. 14% says and 86% says no. And I'm honestly just gonna have to disagree with the majority here. I'm either gonna have to go in the region or the yes region. Not perfect, but I don't really think that this is bad weather right now. Honestly, in the excessive heat, as long as I'm not doing anything that's straining, I can tolerate it usually. So I'm not going to be a part of the no group for this one. But that's it in terms of the poll. Let's go and check out the chat one more time. Trail says, tomorrow is summer solstice. UV rays are higher. Extra sunscreen, everyone. Thank you so much for saying that. I'm going to go on and pin that real quick so that everyone should be able to see that by the time they open the chat. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that. UV indexes will obviously be up high. Probably above 10, near 11. If I was to take a guess, and a meteorological guess. But that's it. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the forecast tonight. If you did, make sure you go and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. We started off with the extra subscriber today. We're at 501, 99 away from 600. Let's go on and get there. Make sure that if you have not done so, hit the share button, share it with all the people that you know. It's quicker than brushing your teeth in the morning. It's quicker than going on and putting on, deodorant or putting on lotion or anything like that. It's quicker than all of that stuff. So just go on and do it, as it takes at most 3 to 4 minutes of your time at most. So I will be back tomorrow morning. Your Friday morning forecast update. We only have Friday left to go.
Off of your feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk, and I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk, and you talk that talk, you knocks me out off of my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. How, 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 how. How, 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 how. Bang, 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 bang. I love the way you walk. I love the way you talk. When you walk that walk and talk that talk, you knocks me out off my feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang.
Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down off of your feet. How, how.
Hey, hey.